Okay, today's lesson plan is going over a weld test that has a backing bar. This is basically a pre-qualified weld joint. It can be done with the SMAW process, the FCAW process, and the gas metal arc welding spray process, and also POS. But the key to it is, over the years I have found out that by taking weld tests over the years and also giving weld tests, a lot of people, when they put their weld tests together, fail to put them together correctly. And there's some important things that you have to do to make sure that when you do take the test, that your test plate is put together correctly. It'll make the test go a lot better for you. It'll stop having, you won't have trapped slag possibly, or roll slag under the plate. You won't draw foreign material into your weld zone in order to pass the bend test. So I've seen a lot of people take tests and they fail the test strictly on not setting up their test plates correctly. So I'm going to demonstrate how to tack a plate together for a test, to do testing. Critical things is clean material, keeping a good open root, and keeping your plates completely flat with no gaps between the plate and the backing bar. So I have some plates pre-beveled, but the first thing we're going to do is we're going to grind the areas where we're going to weld on the surface, on the visual part, but we're also going to grind the back part of the weld or the plate as well, so that we will pick up any foreign material when we do the root pass. One thing we have, safety, 100% safety glasses on. Also, we're going to use a grinding shield to do our grinding. So I'm going to grind the mill scale off the top of the plate, ½ inch away from the weld zone. So when I get to my cover passes, I'm not going to pick up any foreign material when I do my covers. Clamp the material down. I'm also going to hit the bevel face. Okay, as you can see, I ground the face of the plate down, taking off the mill scale approximately ½ inch or more past the weld zone. My weld's going to come out to the edge of the bevel plus another 1/8 inch or so, so I want to make sure this is clean. Now I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to grind this as well, get the mill scale off here, so when I do my root pass onto the backing bar, it won't pick up any of this mill scale into my root pass into the weld zone. Another area that could possibly fail when you do the bend test is picking up foreign material. Okay, now we have done one plate, cleaned up the back side, we got the front side, and our bevel's ready to go. I'm going to repeat the process for the next plate. Flip the plate over, do the back side. Okay, we have the front side cleaned up, 1/2 inch away from the weld zone. We have the back side cleaned up as well. Make sure we don't pick up any foreign material. Now another key thing is the backing bar. The backing bar has mill scale as well. We need to clean this mill scale off of this backing bar. It's a very important step. If you're going to clean all the metal on your test plate, you also want to clean your backing bar. Just one face, full length. Okay, take off the grinding shield. Now we're going to be tacking these plates together. The key to this is keeping the plates as flat as possible to the backing bar. You want no gap between the backing bar and the plate. You want to maintain a good 1/4 inch gap. To take this test, this is a pre-qualified weld test. So in other words, the weld procedure's already been qualified with all the different welding processes: gas metal arc welding, spray, flux core arc welding, and shielded metal arc welding. This is an industry standard in structural steel business. So what we do is we got the ground backing bar. We face that up. I use a couple other backing bars for spacers to shim everything up the same exact height. We want to center the weld plate about 1 inch of backing bar coming out the top and off the bottom of the test plate. This is a 1/4 inch backing bar, so we can use this as a spacer. It works really good to maintain the gap of the two test plates. So once we get that in, we're going to take our MIG weld, we're going to do a little tacking. Now there's going to be a key item on the doing here, is that once I tack the plates, I'm going to smack that plate down to make sure that it stays flat on that backing bar, and that's a key thing to do when you're taking a weld test. Get some MIG pliers, get a good start. Okay, I'm going to put the lens up. So I'm going to tack the first plate to the backing bar. As soon as I get done tacking, you can remove that lens. Here we go. Did not work. First mistake, need a ground plate. We was doing some prior welding, so in the other booth, we got to get the ground plate. Okay, try it again. Space the plates evenly on the backing bar. Now we're going to do a tack. Zoomed in. Alright, good key. Make sure that plate is flat on that backing bar. We want no gap between the backing bar and the plate. Now we're going to tack the other side. Okay, for demonstration purposes, if you can see this right here, zoom into this, you can see that I have no gap between the backing bar and my test plate. We're going to repeat the other process with the other plate. Do the same thing with a 1/4 inch gap. sure that's tapped down good. Maintaining a 1/4 inch gap. Okay. Now we have our test plate put together. We have no gaps in there. Now we're going to weld 3/4 of an inch on each side to hold our plate. So when we weld it together, we weld our plate. When these plates cool, they're going to want to pull in. In order to keep this plate as flat as possible and not coming off the backing bar, we need to put some welds on the back side. Be all shielded. Zoom into this. Don't look at this, guys. Here we go. Okay. We have the welds on each side of the backing bar on the ends. We have our test plate put together. No gaps. Tight 1/4 inch root opening. As you can see, it's ready to take the weld test. I like to use 1 inch runoff tabs. Begin to weld, get into the weld zone, come out of the weld zone. That way when you cut your plates, you got good solid welds. A lot of times if you're on an actual job, you're going to be using backing bars, welding beams to beams or beams to columns, or gusset plates or anything that's got full penetration. So you're going to have runoff tabs. In the field, these would just simply get cut off if they need to be, just for appearance wise. And sometimes you got to cut the whole backing bar off on the job site. When you take this bend test, we have to remove the backing bar. Per AWS, usually you take off a certain amount here, measure up 1.5 inches, measure over another 1.5 inches, and take another 1.5 inches, and that's your strip. That's your strip for your coupons. So just depends on the employer, what he wants to do as far as his weld test and how he wants to bend it. He might want 3 samples out of it, but AWS only requires 2 samples out of it. The plate's put together, it's ready to go for a weld test. Big key things again to keep in mind: get your plates clean in the weld affected zone, get your backing bar totally clean, keep your plates to the backing bar as tight as possible so that no slag will roll up underneath there when you do your weld test. That concludes this seminar on tacking test plates together correctly. Thank you.